So welcome back, guys. Let's talk about statistical estimation within categories. Often, rather than showing the distribution within each category, you might want to show the central tendency of the values. Seaborn provides an elegant ways to show such information using its built-in functions. Let's talk about bar plot for this purpose. Bar plot is a journal plot that allows us to aggregate the categorical data based off some function. By default, it is mean. So we can call bar plot sns dot bar plot, and let's say x equal to day again, y is our total bills, and our data is tips. Let's pass in hue again, and we pass in hue sex once again. So let's run this code. Here we have our bar plot. Along y, we get the mean of total bills paid by male and female. Male in blue color and female in green color. We can change the estimator object to our own function. Let's say we want to use the standard deviation as our estimator for gender on each day in the week. We can use numpy.std for this purpose, or we can use our own customized function as an estimator as well. Let's try to explore which gender have more variance in the total bill on each day. So our estimator will be standard deviation for this purpose. So let's import numpy as np. Let's add few lines again and call the sns dot bar plot and pass in x equal to day, y equal to total bill, and our data is again tips, and let's pass in hue equal to sex. And now we want our estimator. Let's explore the documentation string here. So we have estimator here. The default is mean, and now we want standard deviation here. So let's pass in estimator. So we can call numpy np.std. Let's press enter here. So let's run this cell. Now in this case we have our estimator, which is standard deviation. So let's move on to another very important plot, countplot. Countplot is actually a special case for a bar plot when we want to show the number of observations in each category rather than computing a statistic for a second variable. This is similar to histogram over a categorical rather than quantitative variable. In Seaborn, it's easy to do with a countplot function. This is essentially the same as bar plot, except the estimator is explicitly counting the number of occurrences, which is why we only pass in x parameter here, or x variable or x value here. So let's call countplot sns dot countplot, and let's pass in x equal to day and our data equal to tips. Let's pass in hue again. So now we have x as a day, data is tips, and hue is sex. Let's run this cell. So in this plot, we are getting number of observations along y-axis, and blue is for male and green is for female, whereas days are along x-axis. Let's check the head of our data again. Tips.head. Let's plot a count plot for size. We want to know what is the most common size of the group. So SNS dot count plot, and we have x equal to size, and our data is tips. Let's run this cell. So now we have group size 2, which is the maximum occurrences. So group size 1, very few occurrences, 6, very few. So very small, like a single person, and larger groups are not quite often. Whereas group size 2 is quite often. 3 and 4, maybe with some families or friends, is also popular, but not as compared to the group size 2. So most of the time, people came out in pairs. So let's add few lines and move on to the next, which is a point plot. So point plot is actually an alternative style for visualizing the same information as of using bar plot. It offered by the point plot function. Rather than showing a full bar using a bar plot function, it just plots the point estimate and confidence interval. Let's use point plot for our same data that we used for the bar plot. Let's go back and copy that from the bar plot. So this was our first bar plot. Let's copy this one here, paste it here, and instead of bar, we want point plot. So X is our day, Y is total bill, data is tips, and hue is sex. Let's run this cell here. So here we have our point plot. So point plot connects points from the same hue category, like male for blues and green for females. This makes it easy to see how the main relationship is changing as a function of second variable, because our eyes are quite good at picking up the differences of the slopes. We can combine more than one plots on a single canvas as well. Let's put bar plot on top of point plot to compare. So let's copy this code here, paste it here, and paste it again. So what we want point plot and bar plot at the same canvas. So let's run this cell. Here we have bar plot and point plot together on the same canvas. If you remember, we can pass in alpha. Just for transparency here, we say we want alpha equal to 0.5 for our bar plots. So let's run this cell. This looks much better now. We have bar plot and point plot together in the same canvas. We can combine violinplot and swarmplot as well. So let's combine violinplot and swarmplot. They are similar. SNS dot violinplot, and let's pass in the same data. Copy this one, paste it here. Let's delete hue at the moment, and we want swarm. So let's run this cell. Here we have violinplot and swarmplot together on the same canvas. Let's change the color of these data points. You also notice that few points are outside this violinplot. So we can change the size and color here as well. So let's change the color. Say we want black, because black is going to work for all these plots. and we want size of our point, say 3 here, and let's rerun this thing. Now it looks much better. Most of the points are within the violin plot and all points are with black color, and it's easy to visualize these points. Let's add more cell here just to make more space. And let's talk about the factor plot now. Factor plot is a most general form of categorical plots. It can take in a kind parameter to adjust the plot type. Let's call the factor plot now. So SNS dot factor. We can press tab for autocomplete and pass in x equal to sex this time and y equal to total bill, and our data is tips. Let's pass in hue equal to smoker, and now we want kind equal to, let's say we want box plot here. So what we are doing here, we are calling SNS factor plot function, passing data x equal to sex, y is our total bill, our data is tips, hue is smoker, and our kind is box. So we are expecting box plot in the output. Let's run this cell. So here we have total bills along y-axis, sex along x-axis, male and female. Now our hue is smoker. So yes, if they are smoker, they are in blue color, and if they are non-smoker, they are in green colors. The main advantage of using factor plot is that it is very easy to facet the plot and investigate the role of other categorical variables. Let's try with another example using the same data. Let's pass in another argument, which is column here. So SNS dot factor. If we press shift tab, we have call equal to none. So let's pass in call equal to time here. So x is our day, y is total bill, and we can pass in hue smoker here again. We want to know smoker or non-smokers. So our data is tips, and what we want, let's say we want kind swarm. So we want swarm plot here, and let's say we want call, and if we go back and see which column we can select at the moment, so here we have time, day, smoker. Let's select time here, call equal to time. Let's see what we are going to get in the output. Call equal to time is splitting the plot into two. Time is lunch and time is dinner. On the left we have each day people came out for lunch and how many total bills they pay. On the right we have people came out for dinner on each day, and now it's very easy to understand and it's very clear that most of the people came out for dinner on Saturdays and Sundays, whereas on our left side no one came out for lunch on Saturdays and Sundays. Everyone came out on dinner on the weekends, whereas most of the people, I would say most of the business the restaurant is getting on the lunchtime on Thursday. So let's try another plot using kind equal to box, and now we can, instead of time, we can pass in call equal to day, and we will have one plot for each day. So let's copy this one, paste it here. X is our day, Y is our total bill, hue is our smoker, data is tips, kind is, say we want box here, and our call is day. Let's run this cell here. So now we have day Thursday, day Friday, day Saturday, day Sunday. Let's use another parameter here and say aspect equal to 0.5. Let's rerun this thing. So now we have better viewing of these box plots with aspect equal to 0.5. Shift tab, you can explore lots of parameters to work with. Let's use this default size. We have box plot for each day: Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And hue is smoker, blue is for yes, they are smokers, and green is for no, they are not smokers. So this was all about the Seaborn's capabilities of categorical plots. I hope you got a very good understanding of categorical plots in Seaborn. If you need revise this lecture, go through all these categorical plots once again. We are going to use these plots in the coming lectures quite often. See you in the next lecture. Good luck.